All right, guys, welcome to episode 12, Kings of Opinion. Today it's just me and the Wanderer, so we're going to get this show started.
Glad to have you with us.
All right, so I'm going to start with my, weekly rant. So I'm driving home today,
From
and
work?
I can't help but notice how truck drivers and buses just feel the need that they could cut you off whenever the hell they want. And
Sense of entitlement.
right, and they don't understand how they could literally cause like a 10-car pileup with a giant bus or truck. And then they get upset at you when you try to go around them or like whatever, you just try to get away from them, right? And then they honk you or whatever, or the bus driver looks at you like, you're the problem. Meanwhile, you're driving in like a 10, 12-foot car
Right, you're
or
just
truck.
trying to stay out of his way.
Stay out of his way. He puts on the signal late or doesn't use it at all, just knows to cut you off because he thinks you're going to most likely stop. How do we employ
Just like
people
big
like this?
dogging you, pretty much.
Yeah, like how do we employ people like that? But meanwhile, other jobs, you'll get in a ton of trouble if you do one little thing, or I don't know, you could do a million different things. But these guys just reckless. They're almost on the same level as cabbies, who most of the time the cabbies probably don't even have licenses. But whatever, that's a story for another day.
Well, I mean, those medallions are hard to come by now, right?
Yeah, but you buy them from people that you know. Like, I get that. I'm making like somewhat of a joke that like they don't have licenses because they're just such bad drivers, you know. And like like, I feel like if you're driving in a work kind of capacity or if it's your job, you should probably have a harder like driving test or something.
Right, evaluations or some kind of higher standard.
Right, or at least be a little bit more critical of the things you're doing and grade on that kind of curve, right?
Right.
Especially truck drivers and buses, like
some performance metrics, I think is what you're saying.
Like those things are big. Like you get hit by one of those, or they put you on the side of a wall. Like that's not a good day for almost anybody.
No.
And I don't know. It just
gourmet cola.
It annoys the hell out of me. The only other thing that would annoy me, maybe on the same level, is when you have people that drive in the left lane and they're driving like 35 miles.
Yeah, that's hazardous for sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like when you go to driving school or you take driving lessons or you read the book or whatever you do, right? They say the right lane is for slow, left lane fast, and the middle is like fair game, like whatever, like you keep up with traffic. You know what I mean? Like other countries do this kind of stuff fine. Like the autobahn in Germany, like those people know how to drive. Like the speed limit is 80. No one ever really gets into really accidents on there. Everyone knows.
I thought there is no speed limit on.
Yeah, you might be right. There might not be, but I know it's not 55 or even 65. Like those guys are flying. Like if you ever look at a video of the people driving on there, like the left lane they're zooming through, and the right lane like you're chilling, but like they're still going like 70, 75. Even parts of Jersey when you're on the Turnpike or the Garden State Parkway, like the speed limit is 65. People are going 75, 80 in the left lane. People know like if you're going to go slower, you get in the right lanes and use the left lane to pass, or whatever you got to do. But I'll tell you, man, like these, I don't know, maybe it's just New York City, and maybe like other places that are really populated. I really don't know, but it's annoying when you drive every day to and from work or even around the city. It's super annoying.
Yeah, it does not sound fun, and I'm definitely grateful to not have to commute.
Like, do you remember the last time you were commuting like that and like something like that happened or like something got you, I don't want to say angry, but like agitated at the very least?
No, I never really. I mean, I did have to go to college of Staten Island for like a few months one time, like 3 times a week. That wasn't fun.
That's a driving.
But yeah, other than that, I've been pretty lucky in terms of commuting.
Wow, that's a serious drive to Staten Island.
Yeah, that takes something out of you for sure. Doing that, a back and forth on that. Not fun.
Oh no, I just did that.
It's like going to another world.
Yeah, 100%. I did that and went past it yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah, because I went to Jersey yesterday. I'm in a fantasy football league, as you know.
Oh, that was for your okay.
Yeah, so I was driving the Belt Parkway, so it took me an hour and almost 40 minutes to get there. And they're not deep in Jersey. Like the whole trip is like
we're talking like not that
minutes,
far. Yeah.
I mean 50 miles, I should say.
Right.
So like normally it would take you under an hour with no traffic. Like if you left at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, like you'd get there in 50 minutes or home in 50 minutes, right?
Yeah.
On the way back, it took me the same amount of time to get home. So you're talking over 3 hours just driving to and from Jersey.
Wow.
On a Sunday, right? But it was worth it because, like I'm in this fantasy football league with my commissioner. Shout out to my boy Mike. He likes to have fun. So it's not just the draft for us. It's also like a pre-draft party or barbecue festivities in June usually. And we wind up picking our draft order. We come up with different rules. Maybe we want to vote on them and see if we want to change certain rules or add new rules. So like one of the rules we added a few years ago, I added it, was to the winner.
Sounds like a good commish.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's my best friend, and he's awesome. Always coming up with ideas. Fantastic. But like this year, he decided to do an obstacle course or like an NFL combine for fantasy football. And you run the course, and depending on how you place in this course, you get extra balls in the bucket. And we do the lottery to pick the draft order. So everyone has one ball in there. If you place 1, 2, or 3, depending on where you place, you get an extra ball or 2 in there. So if you pick that ball,
better odds.
You could either pick that spot that you're in. So let's say it's 10th, and you don't want 10th. That ball gets taken out, and you still have another ball or 2 in there. So you'll get a better spot depending on what you like to pick, right?
Right.
So we did this obstacle course. 11 out of 12 competed, and it was a lot of fun, man. You're running around, you're playing, taking a shot of beer pong, funnel a beer, throwing plastic axes at a as a target. It was a lot of fun. So I guess getting back to like the rule things and everything, I wind up trying to instill a rule where the champion gets to pick next year's draft location. Because I got tired of going to Jersey every year.
Okay.
There's only me and one other guy, my buddy Mike's brother, who's also a good friend.
And the rest of them are from Jersey?
The rest are from Jersey, And so 10 guys are from Jersey, 2 guys are from New York. So it so happens the next year I won. So that next draft was in New York City, which was a blast. And
Where'd you do it?
We did it right in Stout, in Times Square.
Of course, everyone knows Stout.
Yeah. And they were great. Like they gave us a whole room.
That's a cool spot.
In the basement, a pool table.
I didn't even know they had a basement.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have a couple party rooms, I think, at least 2 that I remember.
Yeah.
This is going back a few years ago now.
Right.
But they give you food and drinks and what have you, and then anything extra you pay for. But it was fantastic. And then we went out after the draft into the city and had a bunch of fun there. So that was a good draft. So this year, the winner. And I even told them yesterday, so this is nothing new for them if they're going to watch this. He was like, he picked AC. So this year we're going to AC for our draft.
Okay.
And he wanted to pat himself on the back. And I'm like, listen, I really feel like, you shouldn't be patting yourself on the back. He's like, well, it's my idea. I'm like, granted, it is your idea of Atlantic City.
Right.
But the originator of the rule was the first champion of making that rule afterwards. So you have to pay homage to me for making that rule and getting it voted on. So every time we go somewhere cool, it's because of me. Ultimately, it's at least half on me, half on the other guy.
Origin,
right? And I told him like it's not going to be great now because a lot of people have kids and they're young, so you really can't go away.
Some might say.
But in 10 years from now, yeah, you're 100% right. 10 years from now, when everyone's like kind of retired, kids are old, and you have nothing to do, we could be going to some awesome locations for drafts. You know what I mean? Think about it.
Maybe Disney. Who knows?
Disney, yeah. Disney, California, Hawaii, tropical draft.
That's Disneyland, right?
Right. Or even Florida. You go to Florida, go to Miami. You go anywhere. The guy can pick. Like obviously, he's going to pick now within reason.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have, like I said, have young kids. Right. However, it's still cool to think 10 years from now, if we're still doing fantasy football, which I don't see why we wouldn't.
Right.
We'll be like, some guys will be in their late 40s, some guy early 50s, but you'll get to go away for 3 or 4 days and have a great time somewhere that you normally would go for, you know what I mean? Like go to Colorado or, Montreal or whatever, right? If you were doing fantasy football, what would be the first place if you were a champion? Where would you pick if money wasn't an issue and everyone was going to do it?
If money wasn't an
issue? Like we're not millionaires, but like let's say, something on a spectrum of what you could handle, but 10 years from now,
I don't know, because I don't think you should leave the country for fantasy football. I don't know, that's like a weird rule that I just came up with.
Right.
But then again, maybe like I don't know why. I'm just gonna go with the first thing I thought of: Montreal for like a weekend.
All right. You ever been to Montreal?
Yes.
Dope.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope place
Big
too.
fan.
Yeah. Huge fan.
Shout out to Montreal.
Huge fan.
We'll be back for sure.
Right. Huge fan. Maybe we'll do a show one day in Montreal. Who knows?
Who knows?
You know. Maybe they'll invite us up there. But yeah, it was a good time yesterday. So that was the highlight of my weekend. So yeah, fantasy football is gonna make a comeback in a couple more months. I would say maybe 2 months, basically.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Once it's summer, it's like it's only a matter of time.
Right. And speaking of football, right? So like people are gearing up. So there's a story I heard.
Do we have any football news this week?
Not really. Just a quick little story about.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What is it? Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley were having like a friendly catch in like a park in Jersey.
Okay.
And these kids are getting ready to play a baseball game, right? And they noticed these two guys are having catch. I could only assume they're having like a football catch, right?
Yeah.
So they start like calling out to them, or I guess they recognize who they were.
Yeah.
So the guys come over to hang out. They take pictures.
Oh, that's awesome.
They sign autographs. Like I don't know what they sign, like maybe baseballs or hats or whatever, but.
It's a great memory for those kids.
100%. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I mean, those are two guys. As much as I dislike the Giants, you can't question the character of either of those guys.
No, I'm sure they're great guys. So, you hear good things, and they're doing a lot of stuff nowadays. But could you imagine being a kid? Because it never happened to me. Maybe it's happened
in this day and age too, where everybody's got a phone and everyone knows everyone's every move. TMZ Sports is a thing.
Right.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Were you going to?
No, I'm just saying, like, I couldn't imagine me being like 10, 11, 12, even in high school.
Right.
And getting ready to play a baseball game and looking over and seeing like two football stars having a catch. Or for that matter, any kind of sports star that you recognize. Like, like maybe who knows? Like two baseball players are having a catch.
It probably felt surreal for them at first,
Once you realize who they are, like you don't get that opportunity often. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, once in a lifetime type of stuff.
Yeah. You very rarely ever meet like celebrities like that, just out and about.
Have you ever met a celebrity before?
I've met a few.
Anyone memorable?
Curtis Martin for sure.
How was that? I actually go on.
You go first, and I'll tell
you.
I
actually saw him at the car wash on Hillside, and yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't say anything to him, but it was definitely him. This was like when I was in high school, probably.
Okay. Oh, so this was probably around the same time.
He must have lived. I think maybe he lived in the Garden City Hotel or something. He lived somewhere over there.
Yeah, he lived close because back then they were practicing in Hofstra.
Right.
So they were always around our neighborhoods.
Right.
Which is why I saw him too at the mall. Like
Corbett had the steakhouse for a minute.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like Wayne Corbett, but
okay.
That's a story I guess for another show.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Who cares? Like he wasn't very friendly when I met him.
Okay. So you met him too.
Yeah. So I met
both of them. He gave you the cold shoulder.
Yeah, I met both of them at different times in American Eagle when I was working there. When I was like.
Was this when you were a model?
19. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I was a model. Yeah.
Cool.
I wasn't really a model, folks. I was like a stock guy there when I was in college. So.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. No one's claiming I was a model unless maybe it's a hand model, but I got sausage fingers for that, so I don't think that'll work out either. So, but it's weird. Like I met Curtis Martin there, and I recognized him right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up to him. I said, "Anything you need, just let me know. I know who you are. I'm not really trying to bother you. So whatever you need, I got you." Yeah. And in retrospect, I did the same thing with Wayne Corbett, and I got two totally different responses. So it's like, Curtis Martin, long story short, says, "Yeah, if you want an autograph, when I check out, I'll give you an autograph." I was like, "Dope, thanks so much."
Wow.
He's like, "I'll sign whatever you have." I was like, "Awesome." And he was with his wife, which to me is like, it makes a difference, I guess, sometimes. Like, if you're with family or whatever, when you're by yourself, it could be like, you could be one thing, and then when you're with your family, you want to just relax or whatever. And I totally get that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I didn't bother him. And I immediately run to my manager, and she was like the store manager, and I'm like, "Curtis Martin outside." I was like, "I need to take a quick break. I need to run to my car." At the time, I used to keep my wallet in my car, so I wouldn't spend any money in the mall.
Like, I was gonna say maybe take a run to Steiner Sports or something.
Well, I did something even better in my eyes, right? So, she said, okay, who's Curtis Martin? I said, he's a famous Jet football player. I don't have time. Can I just go? So she let me go. I run, and you know how the mall's situated. You know, right by where American Eagle is right by the Auntie Anne's and like that little corner right there. The parking lot that's outside.
Yes.
So I had to run all the way around.
Oh, you mean the exit by Build-A-Bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know them all.
Right. You put it together. So I run out there like I'm chugging and I'm like running because I don't know how long he's going to be in there for. And I not only have to get my wallet, but I have to run upstairs to Champs and see if they have a jersey. So I'm literally like puffing, gasping for air, run upstairs, go to Champs. I find his jersey, grab it, pay for it. Probably one of the best $60 for a jersey I've ever spent. I run downstairs and he's ready to check out. The store manager was cool. She's like, Ryan, you check him out. So like maybe I could talk to him a little bit, whatever.
Awesome.
Maybe he'll like sign some stuff. So she gives me a bunch of American Eagle hats, see if he'll sign those. So I didn't even say it.
Right.
I'm checking him out. It's done. I'm like, sign this or whatever. Sign the receipt. Signs the receipt. He keeps the pen. He's like, yo, do you happen to have a marker? I'll sign whatever you guys want. I was like, dope. So I give him the jersey. He signs the jersey. It's up on my wall right over there. It's been there for years.
That's so cool.
He signed all these American Eagle hats. Super gentleman. Awesome guy.
Shout out to Curtis Martin.
Yeah, so great. Did the same thing to Wayne Corbett. He was a little rude, a little like whatever.
Maybe he has a Napoleonic complex.
Who knows, man? Curtis Martin wasn't much different than him either, to be honest with you. Like, we're all on the same height. So, like, I don't know, what his deal was today, but he was also with his wife. He, like, didn't feel like he wanted to talk or whatever. I did the same exact thing that I did with Curtis Martin to him. Got a totally different response.
Yeah.
So then when he checked out, I didn't even bother trying to buy a jersey.
You were defeated by that.
I was like, not even defeated. I just didn't even care.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I don't want it.
And then he asked me, "Is you want something signed?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And I gave him one of those, not Post-its, but those like I guess cards that you write on. Like I forget, I'm drawing a blank on it, but like those index cards.
Yeah.
And I just gave him a blue index. I was like, "Here, bro, sign it." And I literally threw it in like a closet. I don't even know if I have it anymore. I was like,
he took the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, I'm like, you're off. The guy who came from New York, who went to Hofstra, like, whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
Disappointed.
Yeah. So those are, I guess, the football stories for today. Like, there's not really much that I know of that's going on there besides that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But that's what's really cool when you're a sports figure and you do nice stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people
always remember the good fight.
Like, you saw I had two different stories, and I remembered them both because they were both different sides of the spectrum, right? One was really good, one was pretty bad.
Right. So
I'd rather remember an athlete or even a celebrity for, them doing something good.
Right, being a good human.
Put it this way, that Curtis Martin jersey will never leave. The Wayne Corbett signed piece of paper. Who knows, guys? Who knows what it is? Oh, well,
What do we got next?
What do we got? I guess we'll talk some baseball right now. The Yankees and Mets had two totally different weekends. Did you watch anything this weekend, or were you busy? Doing
I did not. I did not. I'm guessing the Mets did not do well.
No, they did not.
So I was right.
Yeah, they could have beat up on the Phillies. They did not. I think they lost 2 out of 3. I'm not even really 100% sure right now, but I know they did not have a good weekend. We're on the reverse side, the opposite side of the city. For them, the Yankees actually, could have swept the Texas Rangers. They lost a tough one with, running themselves out of innings and making errors, which isn't particularly good because when you're struggling to score runs like they are, you can't give up easy outs or give them more outs, especially the Texas Rangers, who some think are one of the best teams in baseball right now. They're like ranked at least top 5.
Yeah, so they put up a lot of runs Friday, right?
Who, the Yankees?
No, the Rangers.
Yeah, I have to check. But they put up only 4. They lost 4-2 on Friday, and then they won 1-0 on Saturday, which was I guess a pitcher's duel for the most part, and then they won 5-3 yesterday.
Must have been thinking about a different day.
Yeah, they let me tell you, it was gritty wins for them, and it shows that they're just still trying to win. And
manufacture runs.
Yeah, do whatever they can to just get W's. Like they don't care how nasty it looks or how good it looks. They just want to win ball games, which I can appreciate because a lot of the guys aren't doing well right now. Some guys are starting to show.
Marte getting buzzed on
Yeah, good thing for his beard, right?
protection.
Yeah, right now the Mets are playing the Brewers. It's bottom of the fourth. No outs, man on third, who is Marte after stealing second, and on a bad throw going to third.
I did see, I think maybe it was in the paper, did King blow it one game recently?
Yeah, I think that was the Friday game.
Okay.
And I think they lost in extra innings too. But yeah, they lost in extra innings. I think he gave up the home run, and then they settled down, whatever. But overall, the Yankees bullpen and pitching is good. It's just they're hitting, and for a while we thought Aaron Judge was going to be coming back, and now it looks like he's not coming back till at least August. They're saying, and they don't even know if that is an accurate timetable right now, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's a big loss for them for sure.
Huge. I mean, you just paid this guy $40 million, which it's not my money. I'm not really complaining, but like to have him, he was one of the hottest guys in baseball right before he got hurt too. And I blame the Dodgers' stupid old stadium as a reason for it because who has cement on the bottom of the wall that you could run into all day? Like whatever. But he's going to be out for almost 3 months. That's a long time to be out.
Yeah, that's a good portion of the season.
So the Yankees have to figure out what they're going to do here because
they need a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, like they need to either get somebody. Like you can't be putting out these journeymen that we normally used to do.
Lineups.
Guys from the minor leagues that have been in the minors for 6, 8, 10 years, or you've gotten them from other teams and they're filling in. And like we have the guy Bauer right now, who's actually doing pretty good, but he's ultimately a first baseman. He's playing the outfield. He's doing a good job. But how long is he going to keep that up for? Not another 2 months, I don't think. And if he does, more power to him. But they got to do something, and it doesn't have to be pitching. They need to get some bats. They need to find at least a good bat to get some of these guys.
You got anybody in mind?
I don't even know, dude. Right now.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back to this maybe next week.
Only because like so many teams are battling still right now. I mean, it's only the.
What do we got? A couple more weeks?
Yeah, like you got probably till the end of July. I think is the trade deadline now.
No, but when is the break?
The break is like around the 18th, I think.
So a couple more weeks.
Nope, I'm lying. It's the 11th is the All-Star game, so they get off from the 10th to the 13th.
Okay.
So it's like literally what 2 weeks away, basically.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, so not much time, and then I think the trade deadline is around the end of July, which is the 31st, I think.
Do you have anything that's stood out to you from the first half, like MVP or anything else like that?
Well, I guess right now because guys are hurt, Ohtani is the early favorite for MVP, and he's gonna.
Dude, that guy.
He's gonna walk away with it. There's no way he doesn't walk away.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a samurai. It's fun watching him play baseball.
Yeah, he's great. And like last year, even though he didn't have a great year, and I think he was hurt a little bit last year, they were still saying that he could win the MVP last year, even after Judge had the home run record, right?
Yeah.
And pretty much almost won the Triple Crown if it wasn't for a couple points in the batting average,
right.
that the guy Araz, now that with the Marlins, wind up winning, But, if you don't have a super, like, hitting season, Ohtani's going to win, like, 7 or 8 MVPs as long as he stays healthy.
Do you think he stays there? To be honest with you, it's amazing to me that a talent like that hasn't gone to a bigger market yet.
Well, let me answer a question with a question. I'm assuming you think LA is not a supermarket. Like a big time market.
The Angels are in LA now?
Yeah.
It's Los Angeles Angels?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I remember it was Anaheim at one point.
Yeah, they changed the name. I think.
Just in terms of a franchise, I just don't think like they're second fiddle to the Dodgers, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I would think that bigger market teams would try and get him because he's a unicorn pretty much.
Well, so one of the teams that have been talked about is these guys.
Just like the advertisements alone here and then globally.
Well, he gets it globally. He gets it globally anyway.
Right, but I'm just saying it's even for the team that's broadens your audience.
I agree.
But go on.
I think he could go almost anywhere and make big time money anywhere. He would just help the team make more money.
Right.
So with that being said, he could literally almost go anywhere. I think he likes the West Coast. I think because of his wife.
Okay.
And they were even saying that.
Hey, if they're happy, that's what matters.
Yeah. She likes to be closer to home, which I guess that works for her. They were even saying she might go back to the motherland. You know what I mean?
Japan.
Yeah, and she might stay there, and he might play baseball here.
Oh, just come to play.
Yeah, right. And then go back and whatever.
Can't knock him for that.
No, listen, the dude's rich. He can do whatever he wants. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever. The Mets have been linked to them. There's a bunch of teams I'm sure linked to them. The Dodgers.
Yeah, any team with money, I guess, is probably going to flash a little green.
Yeah, Texas, right now because they're so close. Like we were talking about.
Show him some of that Texas tea.
Mm-hmm.
See what he thinks.
100%. So yeah, big money is coming his way next year. Whether or not
deservedly so.
Yeah, whether or not it's going to be with the Mets or whoever, the Angels. He probably be the first $500 million player for like a big contract. Who will give that to him? I don't know, but he's great and all. Don't get me wrong, and you could use that offense anywhere. Like, would I like to have him at New York? Yeah, but the way the Yankees spend, I don't think it'd be a great idea to have another big contract like that on the team. We already have a few of them now.
Yeah,
I think we have 3 of them. So, how could you add, even if you didn't get $500 million? Let's say you got $400 million.
Right.
He's gonna be $400 million. Judge is gonna be $360. Stands at around 300 or 250 now, but like his contract was around 300, and you got call at 336 or 334, whatever it was. Like that's a lot of money for just 4 guys, which is probably why the Yankees are having problems right now because they got guys that are just dead weight, costing a lot of money. And that's part of the Mets' problem too.
Yeah.
You don't even have to watch the Mets to know that they're struggling right now, but they're the reverse. They score more runs than the Yankees do. They just can't pitch. They need a whole new bullpen. They need a whole new probably starting rotation besides Senga, and I don't know what these guys are going to do. I was listening on the radio coming here, and they're calling for Buck's head. They're calling for the GM's head. Was it Epler?
Mm-hmm.
They already traded Escobar for some prospects. I think they were pitching prospects.
Yeah, speaking of the Angels.
Yeah. So, who knows what they're going to do? Like, are they going to fold on the season and trade away some guys to get a bunch of prospects and bolster up their minor leagues and maybe, just let a lot of these young guys learn on the major league level the rest of this year and call it quits and wind up firing Buck either sometime during the season or after the season? Because it's ultimately, I don't know where you stand, and you can answer right after I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think it's at all Buck's fault. Like he's
putting
out the guys that are supposed to be
hitting. Yeah, I completely agree. The team, they're not getting it done. They had high expectations, and maybe they shouldn't have been as high. But they're just not producing, and the pitching is, like you said, it's not very good. So yeah, they're in trouble for sure. So maybe it might be a better idea just to, rebuild or at least set yourself up for next season because this first season has been grim. I mean, first half.
Yeah, the first half of the season so far. Yeah, you're right. And maybe it would make sense for them to do everything they can to get Ohtani next year because it would fill both their needs. You'd get an impact bat and an impact pitcher. So it ultimately helped both sides of the diamond. You know what I mean? And it would lengthen their lineup and it would give protection to Alonso and a few of these other guys, right? You're just going to have to spend a fortune, which means if you're thinking of going hard at Ohtani, right, you're going to have to trade some of these guys, with big contracts because even though Verlander and Scherzer are old, like this, Verlander is signed for 2 years, so he's going to be on the team next year. Scherzer, I'm not too sure about, but let's say he's on the team again next year, right? You got a lot of money in the starting rotation already, and then you got Senga, Quintana, who's hurt and is hopefully coming back, and then maybe you trade away because doesn't Otani play the outfield sometimes? I know he's a DH pitcher.
I don't know. I feel like he might have been eligible for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's willing to play the outfield,
I don't know if
maybe you trade some of these outfielders that you got. Not Nimmo, obviously, because you just signed him, but maybe you trade Marte for a good bullpen guy for next year. You know what I mean? Like you trade him now, and you get a bullpen guy that's signed for a year or two, so you know he's on the team next year, and then maybe a prospect or two. Maybe you trade a Canna. Maybe you trade whoever to clear up some of this dead weight. Because Diaz will be back next year. Maybe you get a bullpen guy or two in the offseason. And you
seems like we have a guest.
Oh, yeah, the birds. Yeah.
Is that like a parrot or something?
No idea.
It happens to me everywhere I go, by the way, so don't be alarmed.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be alarmed with the birds unless they start trying to attack the house.
No, I don't think that's. I think they come in peace.
Yeah, no, I get it. But you've seen that movie, was it The Birds?
That's what it's called, yeah.
So, if that were to happen, that's the only time I'd really be afraid of the birds.
Right.
Other than that, we're cool. I don't bother them. They don't bother me. We're good. So.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like hearing them sing. It's nice.
Yeah, and it was such a weird day today, right? It was cloudy, raining, then the sun came out for a hot minute.
When did it rain? Actually, when I was in the gym, it was pouring for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it poured for, a little bit, and then it got really muggy out, and it's still muggy out. So, whatever. That's your weather forecast for today, folks. If you were wondering, and the actual bird report, the Wanderer gives us. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Anything else you want to say about the Mets and/or Yankees?
No, I'm disgusted at this point.
Are you ready for football then? A lot of people are getting ready for football.
No, I'm not one of those guys. I think summer is for baseball, so I'm gonna enjoy just the sport overall, and I'm not gonna dwell in the Mets lack of success.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, let's go Mets and Yankees. Let's try and turn around this season and start beating some good ball clubs. I know both the Mets and the Yankees are playing not sub 500 teams, but they're not great teams. Well, I know the Yankees are playing the Oakland A's and then the Cardinals, so they're probably both under 500. So hopefully the Yankees at least win both series.
I think this guy's name is Rowdy. That's a cool name.
The guy hitting?
Yeah.
Tellez?
Rowdy Tellez, I think.
Yeah. I wish we would have saw that Billy Adams. I don't. He's not there. All right. So I guess moving along, right?
Right.
What else are we gonna do? So I guess we'll go with. Oh, did you hear what's going on with this Zion Williamson?
I think I did hear a little bit. Is he being extorted?
I don't know if he's being extorted, but he's in some weird love triangle.
I didn't know it was a triangle. I thought he was being blackmailed for a little.
He has a girlfriend, and then he has a side piece, and
right.
I haven't read the whole article yet,
right?
But I just want to see if you knew anything about it because it's wild.
Okay.
I think the side piece that most people think is his girlfriend really isn't though, and she's trending all over the place and posting a lot of stuff about him.
Oh, she has a social media presence.
Yeah, and he's
that could be bad for the brand.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to get traded, and now no one really wants
anything to do with any of this.
Right, exactly. So that's the gist.
Not good for Zion.
Yeah, and is he on the Pelicans, right?
Yep.
So the Pelicans are trying to trade him to another team and get either picks or whatever for the draft, and it got kiboshed because of all this stuff that's been happening in the last week or two.
Right.
And
damaged goods.
Yeah, it's just a lot of drama for him right now. It's kind of
shitty. We wish Zion the best of luck with that.
Yeah, I hope he makes it through.
Yeah, because that can be devastating to a career.
And what sucks is he kind of
you got the people around you that are have ulterior motives. Things can go south.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like, I think him getting a change of scenery would have been good because he's been hurt a lot. I think he's played like 3 seasons, maybe four,
Yeah, I
and
think he has been hurt a bit.
he's hurt a lot, not a bit. He's played like half seasons at best, So like I feel like a change of scenery would have probably been good for him to like resurrect his career. And now it doesn't look like, as of now, he's going to get traded. So unless someone like feels bad for him, like yeah, we'll take him. But then the Pelicans might not trade him because they're not going to get market value for him at this point, right? So it's a tough spot for everybody, And you wish him success. Like he was a big prospect. He was the number 1 pick, wasn't he? For the Pelicans, I'm pretty sure.
He might have been.
So,
but yeah, it definitely.
It's tough for him.
There's a lot of hype around him going into the league.
Yep, it's tough.
And it seems like Ingram has been the better pro. Was that his teammate? Yeah, I think it was his teammate at Duke.
Well, it's neither here nor there, but either which way, he's got a problem on his hands.
Yeah, I hope he has a good lawyer.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Who doesn't nowadays, right?
Right.
But yeah, so I guess we'll go to what are we going to talk about? Movies first or TV shows?
Dealer's choice.
I'll start, I guess, with Barry. Then I finished Barry.
Okay. What did you think?
I'm torn.
Really?
Yeah, I'm torn.
Okay.
I remember when we talked last week. Ernie really didn't like it. He was disappointed because all the shows you recommend.
Yeah, but do you know what? But do you remember why he said he was disappointed?
No, I don't actually. Do you remember?
He said he was disappointed because he knew everything that was going to happen, and like someone like Ernie or myself or even yourself, like I watched a ton of stuff, or at least I used to, and a lot of times you're going to see things developing. You're going to pick up on things. It's just how it is.
Right.
But I'm sorry. Go on.
No. I will tell you, I felt at times it was a little drawn out, and even I think there was 8 or 9 episodes. I'm not sure, but
yeah, somewhere around
at
there.
certain parts, I'll tell you what. At one point, I think it was episode 4 or 5. I can't remember. Like, he escaped from prison, and then it fast forward like 8-10 years later.
Right. There was there's definitely chronologically there was some, it wasn't very straightforward. It was jumping around.
Yeah, and it wasn't even
they were messing with the time intentionally.
And it wasn't.
They do. It happens in TVs and movies. It's I like it, but it's not the easiest to follow sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I followed it. I was just like, what happened to this guy for 8 years, right? Like,
right.
And I get it because they wanted to end the show, so you had to do something like that,
right?
Especially when the second half of the season was him coming back into LA,
back outside,
right?
Yeah,
but it seemed like he moved around a lot, so you couldn't do an episode. Like you can't. To me, maybe it's not lazy writing, whatever. But to me, I would have been like, make this season 12 episodes and give us 2 or 3 episodes of where he bounced around for a few years. Like do a year after prison he escapes, they're here. Because he meets up with her and then she's like, okay, let's go. And then you don't know anything. And all of a sudden they're in the middle of literally the desert with a house that has electricity and a neighbor somewhere because there was a neighbor. But whenever they panned around, there was no other house.
Well, I mean, I guess it was just intended that they were high,
Of course, it's intended they're hiding out, but it just didn't make sense. Like, you're all the way out in nowhere. There's no power lines. There's no nothing, but yet you have power and you have all this stuff, but you're one house in the middle of nowhere. You might have a neighbor like a mile away or whatever because there was a kid and another father. And here you are. And then you're going back to LA. They're going to make a movie about you. And the ending was crazy, but you knew that was going to happen.
Right. But so you liked it?
I liked the ending.
Yeah, I thought it was
even
great.
though you saw it coming, like you said, but it was still a good ending because, without ruining everything, like he had a good run. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I just the other part I like too how, mistakes can define you, unfortunately.
Right.
And that was a big part of what happened to one of the characters there.
Yep.
And it became the villain pretty much not by choice, but
and
decisions can haunt you.
Yeah, and like the whole thing with the Raven too at some
point. Wait, you didn't like that?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say it. Say it.
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
I thought he was great. Like that. I'm like his name escapes me right now, but
he was the stapler guy, wasn't it?
That was
Office Space.
I believe so, but that was a big highlight of the season for me. I mean, he's been great. He was great consistently throughout the show, but when he became the Raven, he took it up to another level.
I liked when he was in prison and he was getting the crap beat out of him every day, and he wound up getting tattoos all over the place. And then he took that woman from the Quickie Mart or whatever kind of place it was. That was hilarious to me. And then he's like destroying, what is it, NoHo Hank?
Yeah, he's
like whole business.
He sees through NoHo Hank like crystal clear.
Like he's like, you're a punk, bro. Like I don't care what you did. You killed this other dude, Cristobal, and like you took his idea and you made a lot of money. Good for you.
New deal.
And then he took over his house. Like after you gave him the house, and he's like, I'm not leaving, whatever. And then they were like trying to kill him all the time and whatever. Like that was all fun, but the ending with that I thought was like a little off to me. With like when they had like
no, I know what you're talking about
and all that stuff, and he somehow survives all that where nobody else does, but he saves Barry's son, which was like a cool thing.
Right.
Like it was like almost like
him like paying it back.
Yeah, paying it back, but he had such hate for Barry, but then at that moment he just still wanted to save his son.
Yeah. Because
he knew he did Barry wrong for all those years.
Yeah, I'm not sure he really hated Barry either. I think at one point, he and one point in the season he may have, but I think that could have been misdirection too. But yeah, two of my favorite scenes were when he's in jail and he's like trying to start up the that part was hysterical.
He was giving guys nicknames.
Yes.
And they were making fun of him, but then once he gets out, they wind up picking him up.
Yes. So that part, and when him and Oho Hank have them at, was it Dave and Buster's or something? And they're just like, that scene is incredible. They
always took their guys to Dave and Buster's, even before he
I know, but that's the way it's shot and everything. Just,
like
money.
They loved Dave and Buster's. Like that was their thing. It's like their brew house. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to go there all the time. Like whenever they had a meet up, they wanted guys to have fun. They went to Dave and Buster's. But yeah, it was all good. I think you were right. It was a lot of misdirection because you knew once Hank called him and he had his wife and son. Yeah. And he saw him. Yeah. He wasn't going to show up. Yeah. Even when he said Barry was coming, he's like, "Nah, I'm not coming," whatever. Right. And then once he saw them, it like there was like a trigger.
The flip switch.
And he's like, "I'll be there." And
the
he got
switch
there.
flip.
Yeah, and you knew like what was going to happen. Like there's going to be a lot of death and all this other stuff.
Yeah, he was coming for blood.
Yeah, and I guess it was like one last good thing he tried to do for Barry. Right. And he wasn't going to.
He tried to make it right.
Yeah, and then he disappears, which was good. And then they didn't even touch about what happened.
Like a raven in the night.
Yeah, he's just gone. Like he's probably living his best life now with like the woman and his daughter, and like he's probably out of the game pretty much completely because everyone else is gone. So it was cool. It wasn't bad. It was overall it was a good ending.
Nice. Glad you enjoyed it.
I look tougher than I'm supposed to be. But yeah, so that was that show. Secret Invasion was this week.
Yes,
thoughts.
I caught that one myself. I thought it was good. I'm not really sure. I'm sure there's more going on than we know. But I thought it was a good first episode. Setting the table a little bit.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, and the scene when the stuff hit the fan. I thought that was pretty cool, and definitely looking forward to catching the new one. What is it? Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be every Wednesday. I just hope it has more than 6 episodes.
Did you check? Or?
I didn't check. Okay. I mean, I could check.
That's all right. That's okay. I'll check for you.
Yeah, but you're right. It was definitely a table setter. I thought it had a couple lulls in it, but you also got to remember it's the first episode. It's going to start to paint a picture so that the other episodes hopefully are better. It was cool. Obviously, it's going to be like some kind of espionage.
Ooh. I got bad news for you, champ.
It's 6, huh? It's 6, right? Those Disney bastards. Give us a little more. You know, I know there's a writer's strike right now, but
yeah, that's probably affecting things.
I mean, it's affecting future stuff. This was probably written like over a year ago because they had to film it and everything, you know?
Okay.
So, like, give us a little bit more. Give us 10 episodes like everyone else does, you know? And give us a little more action, give us a little more story, develop some characters a little bit more. You know, do what you used to do, you know? But um, this is going to lead to a lot of other stuff. I think it's supposed to go into, like, the newer Captain America movie at some point, or certain things here are going to come up there. Um, if not that, it's going to be something else. I just can't remember what it was. But it was overall, it was a good episode. It was just you just have to watch it and know that it's setting stuff up for the future. So it's going to be a little slow at times. Samuel L. Jackson's great as usual.
Yeah.
Like that guy can't. He might as well start printing money with his face on it. I mean, come on.
Did anything like stick out to you? Any?
Nah, not really yet.
Yeah.
You know what I would like by the end of this season of the 6 episodes or whatever it is, if you could introduce a super scroll.
Oh, okay.
That would be great. That would be great. They showed bigger scrolls in the Captain Marvel movie, but if they have a super scroll, it would be awesome. I don't know how they would do that though without having the Fantastic Four. So I don't think they would spoil that. Plus, I don't even know if they hired everybody for Fantastic Four yet.
Right.
But
a lot of moving parts.
Cool. Yeah, it would be cool if you did a different take on a Super Scroll. Maybe you had someone else's powers. Because from what I remember, a Super Scroll, he had all of the Fantastic Four's powers.
Oh, I see.
So unless they have other ones, like if you could give him, you know, someone else's power that makes an appearance in the show, that's a good cameo. You never know. Like, you know, that would be kind of cool. Like if the Hulk wind up in there at some point, like, you know, because remember he went into outer space in She-Hulk. I know he was going to Sakaar because he wound up coming back with his son. But imagine if you made like a stop somewhere, or you know, you met the Skrulls, and you know maybe one of them took his power, and now there's like a Super Skrull, but with like the Hulk's powers, right, or something. You know, like that would be kind of cool. I think, right?
Yeah, that could be interesting.
You know, they got to do something in this show to set something up, or
well, they've got 5 episodes to prove it to you.
5 more weeks left. Great, thanks. You know, I'll watch anything Disney. They're also printing money, but you know they're starting to put out a lot of like, you know, crap, for lack of a better word.
Gotcha.
Right? Oh my God. Switching gears real quick.
Yeah.
Extraction 2 on Netflix.
Oh, the Chris Pratt. Oh, I mean Chris Helmsworth film.
Wow.
Yeah, you liked it?
Wow. It was action packed.
Okay, you were a fan.
He was a beast in this movie. Like the first one was good. This one was great.
Yeah, I think I saw part of the first one at my friend Rob's. I believe he was watching it with the bugs, right? It's the one with the bugs.
What bugs?
Don't the aliens kind of look like bugs?
No.
Oh.
You need to watch Extraction 1 and Extraction 2. That's your homework assignment.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
Yeah, you're probably thinking of Super Trooper, Starship.
No, I know that movie. That was a long time
ago. I don't know
what
why Chris Helmsworth is in with bugs.
It's like it's aliens, right?
No, this is just like almost like a military kind of movie. Like he's like a mercenary.
Oh, what am I thinking of?
I don't know. You have to find out. So you let everyone else.
I think I was thinking about Chris Pratt. That's why I went left there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
With bugs.
Not bugs, but aliens that look like bugs.
Are you talking about like Guardians of the Galaxy? Is that what you're trying to say?
It is called The Tomorrow War.
Oh, yes. That was a pretty cool movie too. A little long. Could have been shorter.
Yeah, so that I was sorry, I thought of the wrong.
But yeah, film. Chris Helmsworth is pretty much like a mercenary. He has his team or whatever. But you have to watch the first one to really enjoy the second one because the second one is amazing for a Netflix movie. Amazing.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2-hour movie. I don't know how long the first one is, but the second one is like 2 hours.
Okay.
So it's nice and I don't want to say nice and quick, but like the action is nonstop, and he's doing some wild stuff in the movie. Like, shout out to him because you know he did a fantastic job in the movie, and whoever wrote that movie is just great. Like, it's almost like an adaptation of John Wick. basically. Like he's not an assassin, but he's a military, ex-military guy. He's a mercenary now.
Did you see that?
John Wick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you?
No.
Oh, you should see that.
It's good?
Yes, it's pretty good. It's not the best one. Like his first two are definitely better.
Right.
There's a lot of more unrealistic stuff in this.
I thought it's 4.
There is 4.
Oh.
The third one is like.
Oh, okay.
It's good too, but like they significantly get a little bit worse. It's still very entertaining because John Wick does some wild stuff. But that's what kind of made me think of John Wick with Extraction 2.
Gotcha.
Is he's doing some wild stuff. So like, and apparently there's going to be a third movie, so he's going to get a third movie out of it.
Nice.
Like he won't just be known for Thor anymore, which is cool. He's like our old school action heroes,
right?
That we used to remember in like the '80s and stuff. Like he's one of the rare dudes that like can do all these types of action. It's like to me, he's either Thor or he's in some kind of military movie.
Right.
Because he's been in a bunch of them. You know what I mean? I think he's in 12 Strong or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's where we go. You have to. It's a homework assignment. Hopefully, you get to watch those 2 before next week's show. If not, it's fine, obviously. But hopefully, you get to see it sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's all I got. I think for movies and TV right now.
Okay.
I did start watching The Witcher Blood Origin.
Oh, how's that?
The first episode was good. I just watched it today. It's like a limited series, so it's 4 episodes.
Oh, it's only 4, so they're longer, I guess?
Not even. The first one is an hour, and then the other ones are just all under an hour, like 48 minutes, 50-something minutes, whatever. But if you have time, definitely check that out at some point, because the first episode was pretty good.
Cool.
It seems to me like almost like a Lord of the Rings story. Like a bunch of people unite.
I remember when the first season came out, it had some hype, and I watched some of it. So yeah, maybe I'll just go back.
Well, this doesn't have Henry Cavill.
That's okay. It's different gentlemen playing the protagonist.
Right. Well, not just gentlemen, women too.
No, I meant the main guy.
I think the main guy, as of right now, is a woman.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it all revolves around her, and there's a bunch of other people.
Oh, so there's other Witchers.
Well, I think this is the origin of how the Witchers became to be.
I see. It's like a prequel.
Yeah, I don't know yet because I didn't watch all 4 yet. Hopefully by
you'll let us know next week.
But with that being said, the new season of The Witcher with Henry Cavill is coming out soon.
Oh.
I want to say.
Oh, so this is like a little teaser type of.
Well, this came out months and months ago. I think because Henry Cavill was doing the Superman thing, and they were delayed on filming.
So they're like, let's give them something.
And there's other. I don't know if you look on Netflix. There's other Witcher shows that are like just individual episodes of just a story, which I want to check out too, just to see what that's about.
They're all canon, I guess, right?
I would assume. I got to check it out to understand it, but like when I Googled it, when I searched it on Netflix, a bunch of different things came up, and then you go into it, and it was like almost like a short movie, like an hour and 15 minutes.
It's cool,
and it was just a lone story,
right?
And then that's where I come up with the Blood Origins, and it was a limited series of just 4 episodes, and then you got the regular Witcher. That's I think season 3 is coming out sometime in the near future. I think it's in July.
Nice.
And then you also have Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. That's also coming out soon, which is another good show. If you like that CIA espionage type show.
Speaking of espionage, so yeah, I started a new show. It's on Prime. It's called Patriot. I'm not sure if you heard of it. Our friend Liam put me onto it. Yeah. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Brew House. It's a nice bar on Hillside and Lakeville in New Eye Park. Mm-hmm. You may see us there occasionally. Who knows? Yep. But yeah, so the show, it's about, I guess it's like a family, like a father and 2 sons, and it has to deal with like, it's like espionage, like spy, but the protagonist, the one son, he's kind of like a loose cannon a bit. He was like a bull rider from Texas, but he's also like a musician, but he's also, doing the espionage, spy stuff.
So they don't know he's doing the spy stuff,
right? And it's like serious, but it's also a comedy too. Okay. And it's hard to, it's not easy to balance stuff like that, but they do a great job of it. So I'm only like a couple episodes in, but
how many episodes?
I think it's I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's 2 seasons.
Oh, so it's been on for 2 seasons.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it more.
Cool.
It's just it's well done. The dad is Locke from Lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's cool to see him in another show. I feel like I haven't seen him in a minute. Good actor. Yeah, so definitely enjoying that one.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's it. That's all I got, pal.
All right, I guess I'll just throw out the
Indiana
music.
Jones is coming out this week.
Yes,
hopefully we'll get to check that out over the weekend.
That. I want to see the new Wes Anderson one too.
Boogeyman?
No, I'm forgetting what it's called now.
It's a horror movie, though, right?
No.
Oh, that's Wes Craven.
Hold on, I'm gonna give it a Goog.
Just give it a quick Goog.
So I don't look
or
like
Google.
I already look bad enough as it is. Asteroid City.
Oh, that's with Scarlett Johansson and a couple other people.
Yeah, she's in this film, so yeah, that's quite possible. So yeah, definitely want to see that as well. But yeah, so we'll end with my music picks as usual.
Absolutely.
We got 3 this week. We're gonna go with Round Trip from Static Selecta. Next, we have Nothing Bigger Than the Program by Jay Worthy and Rock Marciano. And third, this is something that came out a little while back, the Yasuke soundtrack by Flying Lotus. So those are that's the 3-pack for this week.
Nice.
For your listening pleasure.
You got anything else as final thoughts?
No, I think that's it for us this week.
Nothing else.
Yeah, yeah, that's it for me.
All right, well, here we go. Enjoy your week, guys. Thank you for watching. If you are watching, also check us out on Instagram. I'm actually going to upload a video from New Jersey where I did my pre-draft festivities. Once again,
teaser.
A little teaser. Shout out again to my Jersey boys and my buddy Mike for putting all that together. There's a lot of hard work, just like a lot of us here and a lot of people behind the scenes. We missed Ernie and a few of the guys here. Hopefully we'll see them next week. Hopefully you guys will. And Instagram will be out there hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow. And anytime we go somewhere cool, we're going to drop it on Instagram. So check it out. Follow, like us on YouTube, subscribe, all that good stuff. Enjoy your week, guys. And boom, we're out of here.
Thanks for hanging with us. And remember, you are loved.
That's right. Booyah.